Hi everyone. Okay, we're on week 3 of the Unforgettable Open House. This is by far my favorite part, which is during the open house. This is what having an open house is all about. It's about getting results. It's about making connections with people. It's about having impact. And what I love about during the open house and the tips and things I'm going to talk about today is that if you can change just a couple of these, they have huge impact on and can have an incredible change of how you communicate with people. So let's talk first and foremost about the very first thing people see when they come to an open house. And that is they see the front door. One of the things I think is really important to do that agents don't do, and agents that do this love it, is they actually create a large welcome sign on the open door, on the front door. And it might just say something like, "Welcome to my open house." But it has your name on it, it looks professional, and it sets the stage for buyers and sellers to know, wow, this is a little bit different. It also lets them know beforehand, are they probably expecting to meet a man, or are they expected to meet a woman? So I think it's very, very important. The other thing that I tell agents is that the very first impression you make on a client is incredible. Stop sitting in a kitchen or a family room or a den or an office waiting for people to come. Do not ever let somebody open the front door before you open it to greet the client. It's really important because what I find a lot of times is that you go up to an open house, you're not exactly sure what to expect, you open the door slowly, you kind of peek in, "Hi, I'm here," and you're kind of announcing yourself. Now, if you're at an open house, I want you to pay really close attention to when people first enter the home. I also want you to stop pouncing on people. Stop asking them invasive questions too soon, like, "Hi, how are you? How long have you been looking? Are you working with an agent? How long have you been working with an agent?" Do you really need to ask that question the first time you meet them? I don't think it's critical. I think that question can be asked a little bit later on as you've talked to them more. I think it's a stupid question to say to someone, "So, just like hanging out in the neighborhood today?" Obviously they've come to the open house for a reason. Maybe they've seen it in a newspaper ad, maybe they've seen it online, but most of the time people don't just waste their weekends looking at open houses. You need to assume the moment somebody walks into that open house that they are either a potential buyer or a potential seller. The other thing is I think it's really important that you take control of your open house the moment you open that door up. Be professional, be friendly, welcome them. Say, "Hi, my name is Denise. Very nice to meet you this afternoon." You are, and get some communication back from them. Also, don't assume everybody just wants to cruise around a home on their own. A lot of people feel very uncomfortable, almost a little creepy, walking into someone's bedroom in their private master bedroom and closet. It's really important to ask everyone, "Would you like me to give you a tour of this home today, or do you prefer to look on your own?" If you're not asking that question, you're not going to get the most out of your open houses. You've got to take control of them. You have to take control of the tour. And gone, it seems, are the days of the good old-fashioned touring of a home. If you're a professional, you're a real estate agent, know how to provide a tour of a home. Take people on a guided tour. Let them feel comfortable, because the other thing is they're going to want to ask you questions. So invite that. You're going to be surprised at how many people actually say to you, "Yes, I would love to have a tour." So my rule of thumb is don't pounce on them, don't ask them silly questions, and please stop demanding that they sign your guest register the moment they walk in the door. And if I hear this one more time from an agent, I'm going to go absolutely crazy, and that is this. "Well, my sellers want you to sign this. It's for security purposes." I mean, how does that make me feel when I walk in the door? Do I look like a criminal, like I'm there to steal somebody's shoes? I mean, for goodness sakes, why are you asking me to sign the guest register for security purposes? It's very insulting. Now, if your seller has requested that, that's a totally different thing. But if you're doing that because it's your lead generation form of, the way you want to do business, I say forget it, because clients can see right through it. So instead, what I encourage agents to do is to earn the right to have that person want to do work with you. Don't have this idea that if you force someone to sign in, that they're a good potential lead for you, because I just don't believe that that's true. I believe people choose to work with you after they get to know you. So what I want you to do is I want you to really make the welcoming or that opening or that first impression really strong. Have great signage, great sign at the door, a strong welcome, introduce yourself, be the leader of that open house, ask if they want a tour, stop asking them to sign in. So now we've got the beginning of the open house covered. You made a great first impression. Now, whether or not you tour them or whether they go and look on their own, it's imperative that while you're in the open house, there are things for them to visually see. As we talked about last week, we talked about having the visual boards. We also talked about the importance of having feature cards placed strategically around the home. You also have to remember that you have to learn to engage with people in a non-selling, kind of pushy way. So for example, let's imagine that they're looking through the house and it appears that the house is not right for them. But you still want them as a client. You might want to say to them something like, would you like me to, and that could be, would you like me to get you more information on other houses similar to this, but that have a bigger backyard? Because maybe that's what they complained about. Would you like me to show you other neighborhoods that have houses similar to this? Would you like me to show you what appreciation rates are in this neighborhood? This whole idea of asking them, would you like me to do something for you, is a very soft way of selling. And what I find is agents are too abrupt, they're too strong, they're too pushy. People don't want that. Offer things to them that have value and benefit to them. The other thing is, please stop selling just features and benefits. Okay, I understand that we are taught that you need to talk about the feature of something, you need to talk about the benefit, but you also need to talk to people about things in a way that both men and women can relate to. So for example, let's imagine you're talking about a beautiful, solid oak front door. If you're talking to a gentleman, what I call male talk or masculine talk, is where you're talking more about the wood, the grain of the wood, the weight of the wood, the things that a man might find very interesting, the hardware. However, when you're talking about that front door, you might want to say, if you're talking to a woman, let me tell you what's so special about this huge door, this big door, this beautiful door. This door provides extra sound protection, so for noise. It also provides extra security. Because you see, I believe that when you can really take any feature, whatever it is, and you can find the benefits of it that suit each gender, I think that's very important. So I just want you to really start thinking about how you're communicating at an open house. The other thing is, why is somebody going to want to work with you if you don't have something that leaves them something of value beyond the open house? So for example, let's imagine that they're looking at some of your boards and they're looking at the board that talks about the market. Maybe this area isn't perfect for them. Maybe this particular open house is not the right style for them, but they came looking because it's in their price range. Maybe they seem very price conscious, which means that value is important to them. Maybe they care about or would care about something like appreciation. So why not ask them if you can provide them some appreciation rates of the different neighborhoods surrounding that particular area. Offer people something of value. Also, make sure that you offer them coffee, drinks, snacks. Very, very important. Even if it's something as simple as, why don't you take something with you on the road? What you're then doing is inviting them to leave, but to take something with them. And finally, when someone leaves your open house, make sure that they're leaving with something that you've created for them, like the open house book. The whole point of the during part of the open house is to make it memorable, to make it different, and for people to walk in that open house and go, wow, this agent has taken some time to prepare for the open house. Here's a real benefit for you. If you're interested in possibly listing more houses in that particular neighborhood, trust me, they walk into your open house with a sign, with open house books, with feature place cards, with all of the visual boards that you've got. I'm sure sellers are going to think, that's the way I want my home to be featured and marketed. So just pay particular attention to the during phase. So the thing I want you to really think about is, if you're going to spend the effort planning the open house, you have to make the during of the open house the wow experience that clients don't expect, because that's what gets people wanting to work with you. So until next week, very excited about open houses. Make those open houses unforgettable.